This discussion piece for today, Kel. Splinter Cell Remake finally announced at Ubisoft Toronto Studios.
Finally, man. Oh, man. It's been a long time coming.
Ubisoft is going to be remaking Splinter Cell. If you guys don't know what Splinter Cell is, it's basically an espionage type of game where you're sneaking around, you're a secret agent, and you're stealth, and you're taking out people, assassinating them, and it's great. It is a great. It's probably the best in the genre. You know, that's what the likes of Metal Gear, likes of Hitman. I would say Splinter Cell is probably like the best, and we love Metal Gear, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
But as far as like the sneaking around goes, I think that takes it.
Wait. What? You think Splinter Cell takes the whole stealth better than Metal Gear Solid?
I think the point of the gameplay is better. Whereas in Splinter Cell, you can't get caught at all, and then you lose. Whereas in Metal Gear, you have the option to go in guns blazing if you need to. This game is strictly, you got to take him out in a stealth way, because if you get caught, game over. All right. That's what I meant by that. I don't meant by the game. This game's better than that game. I meant in that aspect it is. But anyways, so there was a video that got shown, and it's basically an image of Sam Fisher's famous green lit binoculars, you know, with the 3 eyes, and the words "now hiring" shown as a developer interview. So that's pretty wild that it's going to be remade. It was a game that I didn't know I missed until I saw this announcement.
So, but you did know that there was rumors that there was a Splinter Cell game.
There was rumors, but I always take rumors with a grain of salt until I actually see it. I don't get excited until I see the actual thing there, and I'm like, yes, it's real. You know, it's going to be made using Ubisoft's Snowdrop engine, which is used on The Division. So
and currently the what's that game that they're making now? Avatar, their new Avatar game that they're making, is also using that engine as well. So
it sounds like a great engine to be using. I'm okay with it. I was like, that's reassuring, because I know The Division has a huge fan base and it's a great game. So that's reassuring. I'm just gonna read a quote from the technical producer Peter Andreas. We're going to take the time to explore what this means for us, for light and shadow, for animation tech, for gameplay, AI, and even audio. Andrito said, we want to bring fans something new, yet still connect them to that feeling they had 2 decades ago, playing the masterpiece for the first time. This is exciting stuff that they actually want to. This doesn't seem like a cash grab to them. I mean, it will be, because obviously the name is big, but yeah. They want to do it in the right way. They want to be a proper remake, and they want to capture our new audience as well, while having the feeling you and me had when we played those games. What do you think of all of this, Kelv? Splinter Cell coming out.
Man, I'm ready. Like, I'm ready for this. You have no fucking idea. So, Splinter Cell has a long history with me, in a sense that I've always thought of Splinter Cell as like a younger brother to Metal Gear Solid, if that makes sense. It's kind of like the Luigi to the Mario, or like, I don't know, Dragon Ball Z to Naruto. Like, I've always felt like Splinter Cell, fantastic franchise, but it just never reached the level of Metal Gear, right? It was always second to it, in my opinion, right?
I think because of the story. I think because Metal Gear has such an outrageous story, like the storytelling makes you more involved with the game, versus like gameplay wise, Splinter Cell is mostly focusing on the gameplay and like, you got to do this, and which most Tom Clancy games are, you know?
Right. And I love the fact that they coexist in the same universe, right? Like, as far as like, they're both stealth action games or stealth espionage games, but they're dramatically different when it comes to gameplay, right? Like you were saying, one is very stealthy, and if you die or if you get caught, you're done. You have to start that mission over. Whereas the other one, if you get caught, you're going guns blazing, and then so on and so forth. But I've always been a huge fan of Splinter Cell, and so much that we talked about this, where I bought Tom Clancy books before, right? Like, because I wanted to see, like, I wanted to read like the specific like Splinter Cell books. Now my only thing is, though, with this, it's I feel like the way they announced it was just very I don't know. They felt like they didn't care, right? I don't know if you felt the same way. It was just like, here's an image of, hey, we're making this remake, we're hiring, but that could have been so much more if they put the time and thought of like actually showcasing it anywhere. They could have showcased it over at the Game Awards. That would have been a perfect time. It just happened like a few weeks ago, right? Like last week or something. That would have been great to just show that there and be like, hey, Splinter Cell is coming, and I felt like it was just a ball dropped again. Like it was just one of those things where like that could have been great and it could have really brought people to like hype for it. Now it's just like, oh, it was posted on Twitter or something, and now it's like, all right, I guess we're waiting for a Splinter Cell game.
I think it's to start the hype up. I don't think they had the assets ready yet to get a trailer and all this stuff going. So this is the way they had to do it with what they had, because again, they don't even have the people to make the game yet. So they're like, we're excited, we want to show you this thing, but we're not ready to show you this thing yet, in a sense, right? Whereas we might have only seen a trailer. We might have to waited till like next E3 to see a trailer for this game versus getting the information now. So I appreciate that we actually got the information now rather than waiting a year and a half for a trailer to release about like this game's coming, which is gonna do the same effect in a sense. We're like, yeah, it's more hype to see a trailer. It's like, oh my god, you know what I mean? But like this, you're like, you still get excited that the game's being made,
Yeah, but again, it just felt very anticlimactic. Like if you're gonna announce this, you essentially announce this game that people are very excited for. But the way you announced it was like, it just means it means two things to me. One, it means that does Ubisoft really think or know that this franchise is as big as it really is? Do they know that people are really excited for this game, or do they think that it's just like another AAA game that they're just gonna release and then make some numbers and then whatever? I don't know. I feel like they're missing that moment. They could have made this so much bigger. And again, they don't have to go crazy. Again, like you said, they don't have the team yet to build this game, right? This is just in its infancy. But they know that this game is big. So they could have easily said or made like a small trailer that showed, Sam or had the voice actor at Game Awards, and it just would have been that pop moment. I'm like, oh shit, Splinter Cell's coming. Like that would have made way more noise than this,
right. I hear you 100%. Like I get that. I'm in the field where I'll take what I can get. Okay. I'm like, oh, it's coming out. At least it's coming out. All right, I'll take that.
Sure.
Right. So that's kind of the way you have to look at it too. It's not just like I guess like you always want something to be like a flashy entrance and wow everybody, but sometimes it doesn't end up like that. Look at the.
I'm sorry. I'm just worried that they're not as focused on this game as I would want them to, and then therefore not put as much resources in this game as I would want them to. And then this also tells us when it said, on the picture there, it says now hiring. This is not coming out anytime soon.
No,
if they don't have their team yet, this is going to be 3, maybe 4 years down the line.
Which is fine. That's take as long as you need. We've waited 20 years for this game, or however long it came out. Take your time with it.